welcome back to the Autry Benton Show. Today we have a guest, CeJay Bromell, all things basketball. Looking forward to diving into this conversation and learn more about him. Buddy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Man, been looking forward to this.
Yes, sir. I've been looking forward to it as well.
Good deal. So tell me where you're from, man.
I am from Conway, South Carolina, a little small town, but slowly but surely, for those who know, it's definitely growing, it's expanding. So definitely look forward to see what the city holds for itself.
Yeah, I tell you what, traffic's getting a little thicker, isn't it?
Man, tell me, man.
Come over to downtown bridge, you better hit it right.
Yeah, you got to. You got to know them back roads and them streets to try to get to where you need to go.
Yeah, I think they even learned them now, though, CJ. They know our tricks around the town, so.
Slowly but surely they are.
Slowly they are. Yeah, good deal, man. Well, man, I'm honored you to be here today. Thank you for your time. You've been, I've kind of known your name but not known you, so I'm looking forward to learning more about yourself, you today myself. So
yeah, of course.
Good
I'm
deal.
just an average kid from Conway. Basically, I was just a kid that just always had a ball in his hands. As you can see, I brought my best friend here. It's been with me through thick and thin ever since I was a child. I'm sure a lot of kids can relate. A lot of professional athletes, collegiate, high school, good athletes, they can definitely relate to it. So I looked at basketball as a safe haven for myself, spiritually, mentally, physically, just going out there on the court and just dribbling the basketball and just figuring out how it works, how to get the ball into the hoop, how to get people involved. It's such an amazing feeling once you learn to play the game right. I have my big brother, Alan Patrick, who is definitely well known for football. And I just looked up to him as somebody just with good work ethic. And I'm like, in order for me to make it just like he did, he played at Conway High School, watched him doing that. And I also watched him playing at Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma. So I watched him doing that and also watched him play at a professional level. So with him just actually putting in the work, it kind of rubbed off on me. And I'm like, I actually want to make it somewhere with this ball in some way, shape, or form, whether if it's professional, coaching, or just anything I put my mind to. He gave me the motivation to actually just go out there and just get the best that I can each day.
Man, I love that. That's so special. So tell me a little bit more about your family, mom, dad, your family situation.
I grew up in a single parent household with my mom.
Tell me about your mom, man.
So it's Veronica Bromell over there. She's also from Conway. She was a hardworking woman. She only had one kid in the house, my brother and sister. I'm the baby out of the three, so they were just older, so they was always out just living their lives. And I was kind of left at home with her. So when she'd be working all days and nights, and I would just work on just my basketball game. So I have like a little hoop that my siblings would have ever since I was little, and then I would just use that. And as I got a little older, she decided to get my own little hoop. So it'd be like an actual basketball hoop that you just screw in and kind of build up to like 10 to 12 feet. So I just work on my game while she's at work, or I'll be in the neighborhood playing with the kids. We'll go to the local parks, or go to the gyms and play with the kids. And it just harnessed me to actually get better at the game of basketball, because I wasn't the best athlete, but my work ethic showed as I got older. So I started to earn respect along the way as I got better at the game of basketball.
So how many more siblings you had? They were older, but how many?
I have an older sister. She's the oldest, Kelly, and my brother Alan.
Okay, good. What's the age difference roughly?
About 15, 16, 18 years.
Yeah. What was it like having siblings? They kind of act like your parents sometimes.
Well, actually, I really didn't mind it because it helped groom me and guide me in the right direction. They were smart individuals. So I definitely just people who I looked up to and just helped motivate me and mold me into actually just doing my best at whatever I put my mind to. Man, so I looked at them as a positive influence.
That's great. So you mentioned your brother Alan, but like when did you realize, or did you get to watch, his high school career? How old were you during that? Did you get to see the whole thing play out, or?
Yeah, probably when I was 2, maybe 3 years old or such. I do remember going to the football games with my mom, and we'll cheer them on in the stands, and then I'll kind of like depart from her, and we'll play like in a little area, just play football and stuff like that while the game is going on.
Classic Conway,
Classic Conway. If you know, you know.
You know.
If you know, you know. So I always saw how great he was and how much an impact he made, on the field and off the field. It kind of like just rubbed off on me. And I'm like, I want to do something with this basketball. So I took it really serious at the time at a very young age. So it just kind of molded me as I got older, and it just made me had a really good work ethic, and it just showed.
Did y'all get to, you remember, like, I know you were very young, but like when he went to Oklahoma, did y'all get to travel and see him play any there? Or?
I only got a chance to saw him play once, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Texas when they were playing, somewhere in like the 2000s, early 2000s, I want to say. But I did remember getting him a chance to play and saw how amazing he was and how much he harnessed his craft to get to where he was, and it just kind of just rubbed off on me.
Man, that's awesome. That's great. Good deal. So you've mentioned a couple times, but like, So, as your early memories were just always with the basketball,
That's it.
you always just loved basketball.
I do.
What was the difference between basketball or what drew you to basketball, say, over football or another sport?
I tried football a little bit in rec league in my earlier years, but I was good at it, being the running back and everything. I looked at my brother and tried to do what he do, but everybody will always say, "Oh, you're just like such and such." I'm like, I want to make a name for myself. But I think basketball just always gravitates toward me ever since I was first born. So I always had some type of little ball in my hand.
Yeah.
And it just took over from there. And I'm just thankful for God for that.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's great. Good deal. So tell me about, where'd you go to elementary school?
I went to Conway Elementary, Conway Middle, and Conway High School.
Okay, good deal. What's your memory of Conway Elementary or elementary school?
I remember I would always have a basketball with me at school. I used to get picked on a lot for it, but you see where it got me now. I definitely would say that it helped me build a lot of friends growing up. And I got bullied a couple times just because I had a basketball and people didn't see the work ethic that I had, because I had potentials of actually going far with this game.
Yeah.
I always would get picked at school. They'd be like, "Oh, he's actually good. Let's put him on our team." So I was always that top 3 kid actually, someone went to pick up and play in gym class or at recess or like basketball events and in rec league and stuff like that. So I was grateful for it.
That's great. Good deal. I always ask this question too, but was there a teacher in elementary school that stood out to you that made a difference, or somebody there?
For one, I want to say shout out to Ms. Davis. She was the principal there, and she still currently is. So Ms. Davis, keep doing what you're doing with those kids. They're very grateful to have you as a principal. And one teacher I would say what stood out was Ms. Boyd. She was my elementary school teacher in kindergarten, and her and Ms. Hunt, they were just like a common duo. So it's like without one or the other, you don't got much. But it always brought me peace. They always brought me happiness. They always made my day. So I always look forward to going to school and seeing them.
Ms. Davis says it's the greatest school on the planet. I think that's her slogan.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, she's a legend. We actually had her on here, man. People loved her for sure.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right, how about middle school? Conway Middle?
I did go to Conway Middle School. I definitely remember meeting Brian Edwards, who also went to Conway Middle School. Met a lot of great of my friends who I'm still close with to this day. Me and the fellas, you know who you are. I appreciate everything that y'all do. And I remember having a basketball coach in my 7th grade year. I actually was supposed to get cut. I was the very last decision made between me and another kid. I can't remember his name. But coach made a decision, was like, I see this kid got potential. As long as he takes the game serious, he can go far with this.
Yeah.
So I actually was supposed to get cut. But just by gracious of him and God making that final decision, I was actually able to harness my skills and take it to the next level.
Yeah. Who was the coach, if you mind me asking?
Larry Roberts.
Larry Roberts.
He also was a father figure of mine back in middle school, because a lot of kids, they need that some type of figure and that mentor. At that age, because we're dealing with different types of things off the court. So he was just my safe space, and he was the person that actually helped groom my work ethic to actually taking the game more serious.
Wow, that's great. You mentioned something there too. I think that whether some kids don't have a mom or dad, some people step in those spaces and are very impactful, and I think it's important for all men to do that, or women, to others, always give back, because everybody's situation is not the same.
That's true.
Good deal. So tell me about middle school basketball, 7th, 8th grade year. Did you enjoy playing, or was it still a working process then, or?
I loved it. Every moment of it. I definitely enjoy every moment of it. Just working and getting along with my teammates. I actually always played up, even during summer league. I always played up, so I was used to playing like physical. I was used to being aggressive. I was used to actually making smart decision makings and actually scoring. And just moving the ball. So I definitely feel like playing with the older kids. While I was in 7th, I always played up with the 8th graders. So I definitely was grateful for all of them.
Yeah, you mentioned it. I think sometimes there's just people that are given God-given talent. Then I always see in sports, you got the person. I'm not gifted, but they're hard workers, man, and got a lot of heart. And I think that a lot of times those athletes go further.
They do.
I don't know if you agree with that or not.
100%.
Yeah. Work ethic there's probably a fancy saying that work ethic will outplay talent every day or something like that. Or
that actually is it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, good. So moving on into high school. So what was that like?
High school was good. I always got along. Like I said, I always played up, so everybody know me for literally just playing basketball with the older people. So I always got the respect there. When I was coming in my freshman year, the seniors always said that, hey, you're really good. Just take it serious. Just stay out of trouble. Do the work, and the rest will show. And the rest will resolve. You'll see the results. And I strongly do believe in that. high school, I was picked on every now and then, but I was just always on the basketball team, so people knew me, I guess, as being somewhat kind of cool of being on a high school team. But I had to make a name for myself as I played, so I had to earn my minutes, I had to earn my time, earn everything in practice, and I did exactly what the coach says, so no ifs, ands, or buts about it. One teacher I would say I definitely remember is definitely Miss Love. She was my English teacher, and I remember Miss Atkinson, she was my math teacher, and I definitely remember Coach Hopkins, he was my gym teacher, also my basketball coach. So
Yeah.
definitely
So
love
Coach
him
Hop was
dearly.
your coach?
He was my coach,
good
yeah.
deal. So tell me about Coach Hop. What makes Coach Hop special?
He's one of a kind.
Yeah.
He always pushes you to the limits. He always make you uncomfortable, meaning like you just actually grinding, putting in the work, learning the game the right way, using your body in a position in order to get by defenders, playing smart overall. And off the court, he was more like a father figure as well in high school. And a lot of kids definitely looked up to him in that way, including myself. So I definitely am grateful for him.
Yeah, he's always constant.
Always.
Always constant, yeah.
Always constant.
How about, I feel like, high school sports have changed a little bit, CJ, as far as, you got to be preparing outside of, I guess, the hours of practice in there. You want to speak to that, like if that's other leagues or other coaching or?
I mean, definitely a lot of kids nowadays, I would say they're not self-taught. So those are actually the ones that actually harnesses from back then until now to actually get far because they're understanding where their flaws are. They're correcting themselves, which is good. So I would definitely highly recommend people get trainers to help them, like just hold them accountable and keeping them just structured and disciplined along the way. Just actually learn how to control the ball, making smart reads, so that when they go to the schools or organizations, whoever they play for, it's a matter of like, okay, now I worked on the skills, now I gotta learn to put everything together so I could be an asset to this team. And that definitely goes a long way. And I feel like that's what my program is doing for the whole entire community of Grand Strand. And I'm very grateful for it. Every kid, because no kids left behind.
That's great, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. And you mentioned something earlier in the conversation that like it was a safe space for you. I mean, like it was just your getaway just when things were good or bad. Is that the way you would describe that?
Yes.
Yeah, good. And I think it's important for people to, this was a passion. It was more than a hobby. I hate to use that word, but people need that release. If it's not basketball, I think people need stuff like that in their life. You agree with that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You gotta find something that you're actually good at and you feel passionate about. Because once you do that, the whole world is yours.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And even I think you've made a career out, which we're gonna get into a little bit later, but I said this, you could go make $1 billion, but if you're doing something you're not passionate about or don't love, it ain't fun. It's miserable, man.
Very miserable. And I see that every day to like a restaurant I go to or a business I try to go into, and I'm just like, dang, they don't seem very happy.
Yeah.
I can wake up every day and smile and be like, I'm actually gonna make an impact in this game to someone to actually want to do better for themselves. Yeah,
no doubt. Well, CJ, you were sharing with me, and you had something very traumatic happen in high school. If you're comfortable with sharing that, man, would you share that with our listeners? Kind of what happened?
Yeah, of course. I was going into my junior year. It was around Christmas time. We was on a Christmas break and things like that. I was playing at the Conway Rec Center. I remember it was 2015. Next thing you know, like we was playing a lot of games. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I was feeling weak for about a couple of days, but I tried to brush it off. I just used basketball as a tool to kind of not think about it. So next thing you know, when I hit the game-winning shot, after our very last game, everybody was walking to their benches or whatever, the bleachers, and just grabbing their bags and grabbing their belongings. Next thing you know, I just collapsed. And then while I collapsed, I remember very vividly, like it was just yesterday, where it's like I was in a whole nother world. But I don't remember how I got there. I don't remember exactly what happened in that aspect, but I do also recall that I was seeing a prayer. I was seeing a prayer and I was hearing it, and it's like I felt it. It was almost like how you take a stereo and you turn it all the way to minimum, which is 0, and then it slowly turns and you can actually hear it and it starts to sound more clear. It was like that. And next thing you know, I recognized the voice. It was my grandma. Then after I had that talk in my head, at that time when I was in that other space, I heard another voice, but it was a deep voice. And then it's almost like LED lights around clouds. So every time like the music would play, like the LED lights would change colors, and it's like it would go with the rhythm of the voice. Next thing you know, I guess it was God talking to me. It was a very, very, very deep voice. It didn't sound familiar to me, but it was very soothing. And then next thing you know, it just kind of calmed my system down. It just made me feel calm and like I need to listen to this. So I just had to lock in and listen to it. The next day, I was given 2 choices. One, I can keep you on the other side, which is heaven. I'll keep you on this side where you belong, or I'll send you back if you actually like will give back to the game. I don't want you to play anymore, because in your health condition, as of right now, you need to come to realization like you can't physically play this game ever again in any way, shape, or form. But if I put you back on this earth, I definitely want you to make an impact on the game. So that's when he gave me a second chance at life and brought me to. Then at first I didn't listen, because I was young, I was hard-headed. I just want to play the game. I love physically playing. That's all I did growing up.
So wait.
Yeah.
So you were at the rec in a game.
Yeah.
Finished the game.
Yeah.
Game-winning shot, you said?
Yeah.
Game-winning shot, picked your stuff up, and you collapsed.
Yeah.
And so, would you say it was a near-death experience? What you experienced?
I actually did die. Went into cardiac arrest.
You went into cardiac arrest, so your heart stopped? Heart stopped. Wow. Did they get you help pretty immediately, or what?
Yeah, a couple people who were there at the rec center who I was playing with and some against, they actually were firefighters, but they were just off duty that time, so thank God they were there. They got the defibrillator at the hallway. Then the front desk was calling my mom. They was trying to call the ambulance, call everything, just so people can come and try to revive me. I wasn't revived for a second, for like a couple minutes. And then next thing you know, when they kept trying to give me CPR, try to bring me back, next thing you know, like I did kind of somewhat come back. I took a deep breath. The next thing you know, I just collapsed again. It felt like my life was just basically on like a tug of war, like I was fighting for it, but I didn't know how to control it. Because anybody in that sense couldn't control, just trying to come back from doing anything.
So they're trying to get your heart to start again.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then I got shot a couple times. Then next thing you know, I guess I fell out officially. And then they airlifted me to
From the rec center right there?
From the rec center to the Conway Medical Center. So the Conway Hospital didn't have a heart specialist at the time, so they couldn't do anything with me. So they said the only recommendation that we can give, send this kid is all the way to Charleston. So I went to MUSC. Then they airlifted me to MUSC from Conway. Then I was there for a couple of weeks, and I got out, and I tried to play again. That's when I was young and hard-headed.
Okay. I got you. So that was the physical that played out, and you as far as what was going on the outside, you didn't know. So you were in a space between heaven and earth, per se, going on.
I would
did
say,
it feel like a long period of time, or did it feel like a short period of time, if that question makes sense?
It makes a lot of sense. I actually felt like I was in there for not even hours. Like, it felt like days, because it was just a really long conversation, about just what I want to do with my life. So it gave me time to think and process it while I was in that space. Then when I came to, that's when I finally came to realization, like I made my decision. Yeah,
and you had to take all that in. Let me ask you this, CeJay. Did you have a relationship with the Lord before that? I mean, did you know the Lord?
I did, but not as much like I do now.
Yeah.
Ever since I went through that experience.
Yeah. So you Jesus was in your heart, and you went to church. I mean,
I did. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Good deal. Wow. So you came back, and who was the first person you shared that story with, if you don't mind me asking? I mean, that was deep, man.
I'll say my mom.
Yeah. What did she say? She helped you try to understand it or figure it out, or
even she couldn't figure it out. It scared her, because just having your baby boy sitting there on life support.
Dealing with a lot.
Yeah, dealing with a lot. So just after I finally started getting better, we had a more deeper conversation, and my father as well. So he was the second person I told, because he's a pastor.
Okay.
So I asked him those questions about what it meant, and I was like, maybe that's just your destiny. That's just your consciousness, God talking through you, through everything that you've been going throughout your life. You had to see it, kind of replay it for yourself in order to believe what's going on, so you can move forward with your life. So now you got to navigate through this dark moment and try to find like a more sunnier side of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it meant for years. The next thing you know, I start training kids. I mean, kids would ask me, CeJay, how you do this move or this, that, the third. I didn't know how to necessarily describe how to do it, but it took a little bit of time, because I was always quiet when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So it took me to get out my comfort zone to become comfortable just talking to the next generation, talking to the youth.
Yeah, I got you. So when you had that episode, life support, how long did it take you? How long were you in the hospital and kind of recover that first time? Just roughly.
A couple months. About 2 months, I would say, 2 or 3 months.
And tell me how old you were at this point, roughly.
17.
17.
I was 17.
So started playing basketball again.
Yep.
All right. Tell me what happened next, man.
People People try to tell me over and over and over, CeJay, don't play ball, don't get on the court. It's gonna get your adrenaline up, because that's what sports really do when you're moving around, using your body, getting your heart rate up. I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, oh, I'm healthy, I'm fine. Then next thing you know, I got shocked, because when I was in the hospital, meaning by shocked, they implanted me with a pacemaker and defibrillator on my heart just to help keep it beating.
Okay.
And I didn't think like getting shocked would hurt that bad. I thought it was gonna be like just a little shock, but nah, it's like getting kicked by a horse or getting punched by Mike Tyson. It flew me back a couple feet. So
that was the first time it happened you felt, or this happened afterwards?
This was after the incident. Once I got to the hospital and tried to go play again.
Where were you playing at?
The first incident happened at the Conway Rec Center again. Second time it happened at the Friendship Baptist Church where they was trying to play pickup basketball. They had open gym for the kids and stuff like that. So I was playing with the adults at the time.
So you got shocked again. You got shocked again.
Shocked again. Didn't learn my
Went
lesson.
back to Friendship.
Try to play again. And then
I bet your mom was giving you a time, man.
Very.
Yeah.
I'm the one who was giving her a very hard time, because
just wouldn't give it up.
But every time I would go somewhere, they would always call her, my brother, or my sister, be like, hey, CJ's out here playing ball somewhere, you know, even though everybody knew my story.
Yeah.
And for those who didn't know, they noticed that my eyes were low and droopy. My energy wasn't as high like everybody else's. Like I was just, they'd say I looked like I was sick. Yeah. My eyes were just shut black, like just darkened and red and stuff like that. So they knew I wasn't well, but not a lot of people knew my story because I didn't tell nobody.
But CJ, that you've already expressed to us how much you love basketball. It had to be tough not to play something you were so passionate about. So I mean, I can see the battle, but oh boy.
I couldn't let it go.
So was that the last incident you had on the court?
I had more.
Tell me.
I got more. A couple happened in Myrtle Beach where they had to take me to South Strand Hospital because that was the closest nearby emergency room that they had. It was at that basketball court. We call it Cinnamon 10. It's the green top court that's near Angus Steakhouse over there near the airport. Actually, right down the road from here.
Yeah.
So I had an incident out there. I forgot when this happened, the exact date, but I know it was a couple years back. That happened. Then it's happened at multiple other gyms. And then the last time it happened was at the Myrtle Beach Community Church across from the X Gym in Myrtle Beach. So that was the church that I last had my my incident. While I was playing half court, I thought I was pacing myself. I wasn't going too hard. I just move the ball, pass it, shoot it, just keep it simple. And next thing you know, I started feeling lightheaded. After the game, I hit the game winning shot again. And then next thing you know, it didn't necessarily fell out, but I did feel myself starting to faint. And then someone who was there with me, who I knew at the time, like he caught me. And then I was like, yo, what happened? The next thing I know, I was like, hey, we already called the ambulance. We already know what's going on. You're not playing no more. Yeah. Then while I was in the hospital that's when I started thinking to myself, do I really keep trying to hurt myself so much? Even though I do love this game, I was like, how can I make an impact? What did that message mean? Because over the years.
So that was the flip. That's where it changed.
That was the flip. That was just a smack in the face like, hey, you need to stop playing. Yeah. Or you're really going to end up being on the other side, which I definitely didn't want. I still love my life. Yeah. But now I'm way more appreciative. Since I made that decision, I haven't had no heart issues ever since.
So tell me what, once you knew you had to make the change in your life, but you didn't want to leave the game of basketball, what was your next steps?
Teaching.
Coaching, teaching, okay.
Coaching, teaching. It was just more so, it just felt more like a safe space for me to impact the next generation than playing on the court, but do something off the court. So now I finally understood what the prayers and the messages meant in that trance I was going through at the time. Now I actually finally see what he meant by you're going to do something great with this basketball from off the court than on the court. So now I finally understand it.
So I guess my question is I know it was hard to give up playing, but do you find the enjoyment and the fulfillment on what you're doing now, CJ?
Every single day. I can wake up with a smile on my face and I'm about to make a change in someone's life.
Yeah. So tell me about your program, man, what you're doing now.
So Next Level, it basically started back in 2020, like around COVID time. So I was trying to be a teacher, but next thing you know, COVID happened and a lot of teachers weren't getting paid at the time. So I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna do something else. Definitely didn't want to go through all that with the school system. And then the next thing you know, I was like, how can I make a change in this community? I was like, what do we not have? I was like, well, I don't see too many trainers. I don't see too many people trying to like take time out of their busy schedules or whatever to help the kids, nurture them, and just help them with the game of basketball, especially if they're newcomers or for those who playing for a while but they still needs to work on their flaws. I'm like, nobody's ain't doing it too much. Everybody got family, everybody got lives, which I completely understand, but it's like now I'm doing it full time every day, all day. And I definitely don't take it for granted, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Good deal. You were sharing with me too, like, and I think that it's bigger than the game now. I mean, you're trying to be a mentor, a life coach, help them, share your experiences with them that, you know, you can get through some tough stuff. Am I right on that stuff? It's bigger than the game?
100%.
Yeah, good deal. So, like, tell me how that looks, you know, how your program works if people are interested in it.
A lot of people, like, the kids, they'll be like, they want to quit, they want to stop playing the game, but I'm like, if you give up, you'll never learn, you'll never reach your full potential or even get far with what you're trying to accomplish. You say you want to be a basketball coach, you can't be a basketball coach and think about that at a young age if you're going to quit, because you got to think longevity. If you was in my position and if I allowed you to quit, how would you feel?
Yeah.
They always would tell me they would feel sad, they would feel upset, they would feel disappointed. I'm like, well, you can't give up on yourself. And that was something that was definitely non-negotiable for me as a kid, because I was just outside or in a gym or somebody's backyard, my backyard, wherever, always working. And the results will show, and I strongly do believe that. I tell a lot of people, you look up to LeBron James, Steph Curry, a lot of great athletes or whatever, but they put in the work to get to where they got. Nobody just wake up and just be good. Michael Jordan got cut from his team. That was another example I always looked at. He got cut from his team. He put the whole entire year into working. I always say the word, work, work, work. You gotta work, you gotta understand your flaws, you gotta accept your flaws, but you also gotta accept you have the power to change it if you work. So I help kids just learn like just little small things. A kid can be good, but you can be better if you just cover the little small things. You gotta learn how to go left. You gotta learn how to let with your left hand properly. You gotta learn the proper footsteps. So once you learn that, it makes the kids feel good, like, oh, that actually feels great. I'm like, see, now you get it. Then they start making up little tricks and stuff on their own, and they start building that confidence to actually do them in the game, and that's how they stand out.
Man, that's special. That's special. Good deal. So, like, if someone to connect with you, do you do like some group training or one-on-one training? How exactly do you?
I do one-on-one training, small groups, big groups, whole full team, half a team, two-man, don't matter.
I got you.
I do it all.
Where can they find more about you and your program if they want to or interested?
Well, they can look up on Next Level's website at www.nxtlvl b-ball training. I'm also running a summer program for beginners and advanced players for all ages from age 8 to 17 over at the Myrtle Beach Sports Center. Good
deal, good deal. And I'm sure they can connect with you if a parent wants to talk to you about what's best for their kid.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Well, good deal, man. Well, we're running out of time, man, but I would definitely say that you found your passion. You're still impacting kids and impacting community. And, man, just thank you for all you've given back to our community, man. Thank you so much. This has been a pleasure.
Just doing God's work.
Amen. God bless you, man.
God
thank you so much. Folks, as we finish up today, what is your passion? Are you chasing your passion? Are you doing what you want to do? Are you making lives better? Life's more about than being selfish. Give back to others. Join us next time.